Hey, team. What's going on? Look, a few people already here nice and early. This is awesome. Tuber chat. Good to see you, Kev. Beauty to have you in the house. Can anyone hear me? Can you confirm you can hear me right now? This is all new to me. Can anyone out there hear me? Good question. Let's see. I feel like I'm on. It's kind of weird. This is a really weird experience. Us never them. Good to see you. Mr. Leong, good to see you. Business talk. You can educate me. Tuber chat. Thank you, Kev. Manson boy, good to see you. I love the fact people have acknowledged the fact they can hear me. Otherwise, this thing is just crazy. I've never tried this before. This is amazing. A few other people are going to roll in. I think I'm a few minutes early. That's just pretty much me. I'm always early. I'm very rarely late. It's one of those things ingrained in me just based on day-to-day life. And I think dad really ingrained that in me too as a child. Us never them. Good to see you. Beautiful. This is fantastic. It's like a great big family get together, but we're all in our own homes, and we've got access to snacks most likely, and other goodies that you have around. Like I know my good friend Kev over at Tuber Chat. I can imagine right now he's probably drinking a high energy drink or something that's got at least 32 grams of sugar in it. No judgment. That's okay, Kev. If anyone can pull it off, you can pull it off. Us never them. I think you're typically a little healthier snackers than my friend at Tuber Chat is, but we all have our vices. We all have our vices. Who of us are perfect. That being said, Kev has to talk for like 3 hours in a go, so I don't blame him for needing like a little extra kick in there. Hey, okay, Manson boy, I love it. Thank you for being here. It's great to see you. We're just a couple minutes before 8:30. I've got a full agenda all planned out. I'm really excited. By full agenda, just there's always things rattling around up here. It's different for everybody. Yeah, it's right now, in case you're wondering, those of you here early, I'm in Ottawa, Canada. That's right. So if you've never been to Canada, this is pretty well it. You can hear the sound of crickets out back. Pretty quiet. I'm in Canada's capital, so that's where I am as I live. So about six hour drive from New York City. Maybe it depends if I go. We'll say 7. So world, good to see you. Rants with Rogers, Matt. Good to see you, my friend. I am live. I figured this thing out. It's fascinating. I can do stuff like I don't know. I'm just figuring this out, but like I can do this. There we go. I know. Kev was telling me to get on StreamYard, so I took a chance, and here we are. So very exciting. Rants with Rogers. Good to see you, my friend. And he's another guy who's always got something on his mind. He's never short for things to say. Granted, he's paid to talk for a living, so he's got an edge on most of us. But it's one of those things. Yeah, it's for sure different. And if you haven't been over, checked out Rants with Rogers with Matt. It's a great time, lots of fun, and he's always got something on his mind. And not to mention that he's got a great head of hair. So if you just love guys with a good set of lettuce up top, which unfortunately my best hair days are long behind me, as you can see by this, it's keep it short and tight because I don't have many other options. Not Matt. Matt can do all kinds of things with his hair. He can probably work a left comb, a right comb. He can gel it. He can slick it. He can do all kinds of stuff. So some people are like that. Lorenzo Euro joining us from Italy. Amazing. Italy, a place I haven't been yet. Josh, a fellow Smith brother, my kinsman. Much love. Great to see you. Did you hit those burpees today? You get in there? For sure. You must have got some in today, Josh. You must have got some. I hit a quick 20 minute, which I'm posting tomorrow. It's a quick ladder. 1 pump for 2 minutes, 2 pump for 2 minutes. It's basically the one Iron Wolf did. I just made it 20 minutes instead of 10. So you get a great workout in and a little tweak in there if you have trouble with some mobility issues. Lorenzo coming in from Italy. Josh, where are you? I can't remember. You're down in honestly, I can't remember where you are in the States. I know Lorenzo's in Italy because he's always posting great stuff. Yeah, abs today. You do not need help with your abs. That's that's just mean. You never have a shirt on in anything. And I'll be honest, if I had abs like yours, I would never wear a shirt myself. Ah, Texas. That's right, Lone Star State. That's on me. I forgot that. But to talk about Josh's abs, if I had abs like his, I would never wear a shirt. And understand where I live, much of the year it gets to about -30. So I'm saying I would just go shirtless, or maybe I just go winter jacket, just wide open, like the celebrities do. You know, like the Hoff, like David Hasselhoff in his prime, for sure. I would just go just wide open. I'd maybe get some chains and just really maximize the six pack. But that's just not what I have. I just don't have that. But that's why, like I said, kudos to you, Josh, for not needing to wear a shirt. But also Texas, another reason. There's probably you don't get a lot of snow. Cooking with NP, great to see you. Welcome to the house. Always good to get a cook in the house. Amazing. It's always good to get someone here who wants to talk cooking. As I've said before, I'm pretty limited with my cooking. I mostly do a lot of barbecue and I do some cereal. Don't get me wrong, I'm not limited with my cereals. I can cover a lot of different cereals, but I'm mostly cereal for breakfast and some eggs. And some eggs as we go through. So that's the kind of stuff that I do. Jelly Duck 100, good to see you. As we go along, this is amazing. All kinds of people coming out of nowhere. For those of you, as you get to know me, what's on my shirt? It says Jetty. I'm not sure. I got this one traveling the States somewhere. Typically, most of my shirts I get when I travel because I don't have enough clothes with me because I literally bring just a single backpack as I go along. Saul P. Motors, good to see you. Also representing Europe. We've got a lot of Europeans in the house. Jason, good to see you, my friend. This is fantastic. People from all over. For those of you just getting here, my name's Brad. And it's my BS life. The BS is, of course, Brad Smith. That's just who I am. That's my name. That's my handle. It is what it is. So that was the question we got right there. I need to start using this. I'm going along here. That's Tuber Chat. Kev's behind the wheel right there, which is fantastic. As we get all kinds of different people. So basically, this past week I finished a 1K day challenge. I hit 1,000 subs, and so for me, I thought, what better way to represent, say thank you to all of you amazing people, than just to throw down a whole bunch of challenges and just see what I can do as the week goes on. And so it started out pretty well. First of all, a bunch of them ended up on the cutting room floor, which I'll share after, because I had a whole bunch of ideas for 1,000 subs because I had a lot of time to figure out what I was going to do. So day one, we started out with rants. You warm the heart. You warm the heart. I tell you, it's what you bring to the table, Matt. It's clearly they're not here for the hair. We know that. That being said, we did discuss your beard one time, and that's one spot where I think I've got you beat. Because I was clean shaven yesterday. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. But as we go along, one of the things that hit me is I had to do 1,000 things every day. Because originally I had a few different ideas, but I thought, no, like I want to put this thing together. I want to try and do something right to show all of you how much you mean to me, how excited I am to see all of you and to show my appreciation for all of you always overcoming. Amazing. Great to see you. Will you join us? This is fantastic. I can't remember where you are. I know you're down south. You're in the States. Always overcoming. You have to let me know where you are. I love trying to keep track of where everyone is. But anyway, so the first challenge I did for the 1K day challenge actually piggybacked with me being away for camping trips. So the first BS Banter was actually is the first one I've done that wasn't green screen. It was set by the campfire. I was filming in the woods when I was out there. It was amazing. Jay, warms my heart, my brother. Long-time brother, very close friend of mine, coming over from Japan. Amazing. Fukuoka represented. Amazing. Hungry Man, you're here too. Good luck. Thank you, Hungry Man. I need all the luck I can get because like my first ever BS Banter, I said I'm making this up as I go along. So that's just what it is. So I was away camping as I went along. Maru, congratulations. Thank you. Maru, this is amazing. Again, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. And I'd like to thank Maru as a brief step aside from my story. When she shared my video on her site, but the fact that she was working with my video, Maru, that was a huge support to me. I really appreciate that. That meant a lot to me. And just the fact that you and I are both on fitness journeys as we continue along, and you are doing so well. So full kudos to you, Maru. Like I'm so excited every time I see one of your videos. That is awesome. So good. So the day one, I was away camping. I'm sleeping in a tent. I did some tent filming, nothing sorted if you didn't see the video, but you can check that BS Banter. I'm by a campfire there. And I took these balloons with me. I even filmed one of my questions on the drive with the balloons in the background. So I had this vision. I had this vision of doing, I had these balloons. I was gonna use them all week long. I had these two big balloons that said 1 and K. And for the only time I used them, I actually had them backwards on screen because everything's opposite in the camera. And the only camera I have, as many of you guys know, is my iPhone 8. And then my backup camera is my iPhone 5. That's the extent of my, so people have asked, what do I use to film? What do I use as I'm going along? What do I use to really capture my BS life? I used an iPhone 8, an iPhone 5, and 2 tripods. The tripods were nice because for a while I was literally using blocks of wood, which I carried around to prop things up when I was working out outside. Because as you know, I do 2 workouts a week outside. Thank you so much, Coop. Much love, my friend. As you know, I do 2 workouts a week and then a BS Banter. And the 2 I work out more than that a week, but I only do 2 outside. So the 2 I do outside for a while is propping up with literally blocks of wood from my garage. I've got all kinds of scrap wood because I like to build random stuff. Nice story for another day. So as I'm out there, it was nice to have a proper tripod, but I had these balloons. I had the big shiny silver 1 and the K. I was going to use these things the whole week. I was so excited about it. Hooded Hillhopper coming all the way from California. I love the fact you're sneaking in from work. That's great. I love it. It warms my heart. I love it. So good. Thanks so much, Coop. Love the dings. Thank you. Hit subscribe. I love it. Give me that thumbs up if you can. I have no idea if there's a thumbs up. Kev from Tuber Chat told me to go with StreamYard, so I'm doing StreamYard, which is fun because I have a chance to show people's comments on here, which is really cool. Question of the day, cooking with MP. Do you have a specific meal you usually have before you start your exercise? I'm guessing protein, vitamins. Cooking with MP, you'd be completely wrong. My diet every single morning, 6 out of 7 days a week, if not 7 to 7, is cereal, whatever I have around the house. From there, I eat a lot of peanut butter and jam, barbecue for dinner. I eat a lot of eggs. I don't actually eat any fancy meals. Sometimes I'm lucky that people who are close to me feed me very well, which is amazing. Besides that, though, really, my diet is a lot of Mexican food and a lot of other stuff. Like I don't eat a lot of pasta, or as we saw this past week, I don't eat a lot of rice. And I took a lot of flack over that, but we'll get to rice in a second. So day one, I had these balloons. I just finished my 1,000 jumping jacks. I got out on the beach early. It was a beautiful day. You could see how still the water was behind me. I've got the balloons balanced on a flip-flop. I figure what can go wrong? I've got a flip-flop there as you go along. So, but the problem is I lose the balloons. You can see the shock on my face as I turn around and I try and get to that, as I try and save those balloons. It didn't work. All my plans fell apart for my balloons the entire week. It crushed me, and that was day one. 7 days in a row where I knew something was going to go wrong as I went through it. So that's always an issue when I had great plans for these balloons. Because day two, I was pushing the car. I was actually going to wear the balloons, the entire car pushed as I went along. That was part of my plan as you go along. Homestead Aquarius, good to see you. And welcome to Canada. If some of you have never been to Canada, once again, I'm Brad. This is my BS Life. The BS is for Brad Smith. I am in Ottawa, Canada. That is not just any city in Canada. That is the capital of Canada. So that's what we do here, BS community. We educate each other. If you didn't know the capital of Canada, it is Ottawa. Question from Coop. Have I ever chugged a beer? Very poorly. He's taking a shot at me because I cannot just crush a beer like that. So for whatever some of you guys think, that's what it comes down to. So unfortunately, that is not my forte. Jay gets at me. He killed a suicidal bird, feathers everywhere. That was on the way. That was day 3, I think. No, that was day 2. That was on the way. That was on the way to pushing the car. My buddy Chris was driving. We were driving there, meeting him. On the way there, I had my co-pilot, my rock, my daughter, she was there. We had all kinds of tears after this bird came out of nowhere. By that I mean it literally walked out of the bush right in front of the car. Boom, feathers everywhere. You're talking, I almost could hear the final, like the little squawking sound, whatever that little bird made. It was a disaster. My daughter was in tears. I'm trying to rally her together and just trying to bring everything together. It's just one of those things. It really put a sour note to kickstart what was going to be a 1,000 meter push, which is 1 kilometer. 1,000 meters sounds a lot better. Brad, you're still good on cameraman, exactly the same as life. Yeah, like I said, Rants with Rogers. What you see is what you get. If you've known me If you've known me 5 minutes or 5 years, this is it. I'm too simple to have two different ways. Purpose driven. Welcome to the house, Coach Kev. You're one of my Sherpas on my YouTube journey. Had a chance to check in with you the other day and saw how you ran your live, which is fantastic. So hopefully I can put in some of what you brought to the table, just a little bit of it. Homestead Aquarius from Alabama. You know, a few great folks in Canada. That's fantastic. There's Canada, 30 many million people, full house as we're going along. Hi, great Chico. Hi, great from Singapore. Well, I got excellent video footage. I didn't expect you only use an iPhone to shoot your video. Awesome. Yeah, 100%. iPhone 8. That's all I've got. Some people have got all kinds of cameras. Not me, sadly. Hungry Man, watching from Amsterdam, 2:40 a.m. here. Hungry Man, I've been to Amsterdam before. I'm not surprised you're awake at 2:40 a.m. That's fair. You can put in a full day at Amsterdam. In fact, when I got to Amsterdam one time, I took the bus from Paris. I took the overnight bus, so I got into Amsterdam at like 6:30 in the morning. Because as some of you picked up by now from my catfish in Hong Kong and my Tokyo travel story, I often, what I'll often do is I will intentionally book a bus instead of a plane so I can sleep on the bus. So it's my accommodation and my transportation in one. So as I go along, I roll into Amsterdam at 6:40 a.m. and I had a full day and night ahead of me there on very little sleep, sleeping in a bus that was full of tourists, predominantly speaking Mandarin or Cantonese the entire way, and I could not understand any of it, but they were happy to keep me awake most of the night. I tried to get involved a little bit, but it wasn't my forte. Question here from Hoodie Hill, is Rush your favorite rock band? It's definitely mine. I've seen them live probably half dozen times. Hashtag Canadian music. Canadian music is fantastic. Rush is not my favorite Canadian band. They are excellent though. They've got some incredibly addictive music. So I understand why you've seen them a half dozen times. I actually have not seen them a half dozen times. So once again, Steve, he's the Hooded Hill Hopper. I give you full credit for this is what makes you just a little bit Canadian. And I think that one thing we've realized over time is everyone wants to be a little bit Canadian, not a lot. Someone's gonna be a little too Canadian. But everyone, it's good if there's a little bit of Canadian in all of us. Thank you, Oscar, letting us know we have 37 million people in Canada. I said 30-some million. We knew we're roughly 1/10 the size of our American neighbors to the south as we go along. Georgia Bulldogs, welcome. Good to see Atlanta, Georgia in the house. Beautiful. Oh, Hungry Man. Next time I'm there, I will 100% get in touch with you. And that's this BS Life community as we travel the globe. As you can see, if any of you have gone to my Instagram, mybslifebrad, it's just travel pictures. So you'll see I don't put any of the workout stuff on there because I didn't even used to have Instagram. I just put that on because I traveled a lot and friends were always like, we want to see pictures of where you go, and then people can kind of like take their time and go through the pictures on their own. So that was kind of how Instagram started. And so really, like, I post a few things, but they're always just kind of the ones that like flip over every day. I can't remember what that's called. Like, it's your Instagram. Oh, your Instagram story. That's what it is. So story time, which actually might be another live when we can just sit back and tell stories about my childhood or about my travels. But anyway, I digress. Thanks, Kev. I don't know. This is new to me. It's very strange because I get a little bit of idea of what's going on. I get a little bit of feedback, trying to stay on top of comments and stuff, and still, and as you know, as some of you are realizing more and more, I have no trouble rambling on, unless I'm working out and I've got to count, in which case I lose track of my numbers all the time. For someone who's trying to get in shape, it's tough when you're counting for numbers. So like tomorrow's workout I'm gonna put out is literally just 20 minutes. I do a workout. I don't need to count. It's all to time, so I love it. I filmed that one today. And unfortunately, my Raptors lost tonight. They're down 0-2, which really disappointed me as I was going along there. But anyway, I digress. I don't need to get into NBA speak, although I know, Kev, you can appreciate that. The second day, sorry, I was on my 7-day challenges as we go. Jay says, give us some great Canadian acts to some of our other friends that are thinking no good music. Oh, so we got Tragically Hip. That's if you want to hear a pure Canadiana, Tragically Hip would be one of them. Blue Rodeo would be another one. Many of you would probably know one of Canada's greatest exports. By exports means she's been in Vegas for quite some time, and that's Celine Dion. And her heart does go on. So if you're a sentimental person, if you're loving just ballads, then you want to be a part of that. And as soon as I mentioned Celine Dion, this is what we get from Coach Kev. He just says yes. So I would have never pictured Purpose Driven as a Celine Dion music fan, but this goes to show the depth of Kevin's music knowledge is amazing. It's not what I would have picked from him, but I can see him warming up on the courts, playing a little Celine Dion. My heart will go on. He does the Titanic pose in the front with all his AAU girls basketball team behind him, supporting him, maybe even propping him up. I don't know. But I like that. I like that, Coach Kev. I like what you're bringing to the table. You're a man. You're an onion. You have so many layers to you. It's fantastic. So day 2 of the challenge, we've just driven by. We hit this bird boom. Feathers everywhere. My daughter's in tears beside me. I'm consoling her. I'm on my way to push this car along. I meet my buddy Chris. We go down fast and furious style. I scout this place out a day ahead of time. So right by the train tracks. I want a benchmark on the train tracks. We get pushing this thing. Now, I pushed a car before because more than once I've either been with a friend who's run out of gas, or it's possible I've run out of gas in my car and also in my motorcycle. Both times I've run out of gas. So as we continue on here, I'm pushing this car. I had no idea how much this would really burn the calves. It was intentional. It was a heavy calf burn. Okay, so I've got to give apparently just an interlude. Kev was referring to basketball, not Celine Dion. So I don't know his stance on Celine Dion. I'm not going to judge for him. But I'm sure Kev is equally accepting of both Canadian and non-Canadian music artists. I don't think Kevin is saying he hates all Canadian musicians by his last line. I don't think that's what he's saying. Chris says, no one is watching from Atlanta. Come on, Georgia, no one knows in Canada. We're Canadian here. We are the North. Southerners are awesome, though, to be fair, for sure. Jay wants me to keep rambling on with bands. All you need is Rush for Canadian music. If all you have is Rush, you will be well represented. Rush is fantastic, Steve. Very, very good point. I get out. I'm pushing this car. My calves are on fire. I had no idea. I've never pushed a car climb before. The other thing you also know is you also realize that every tiny bit of extra weight in this car matters. So my buddy Chris is not a small guy. The car already weighs over 3,500 pounds. You throw Chris in there, you throw my daughter in there, and of course, the one day he's driving, he picks up his jugs of water and juice and everything else he has. He's got golf clubs, all kinds of stuff. So if there's extra weight, I'm pushing this thing. Oh, it feels like uphill the whole way. I'm sure he's riding the brakes. In the end, we get it done. 2 wonderful people stopped by to offer assistance, which was amazing. One guy in a red truck, you can see, just slows down, looks, gives me this look, and just keeps going. Didn't smile, nothing. I was disappointed in that. But one thing we do learn, 66% of people were willing to help me push the car, which I thought was amazing. That was the one day. A real calf burner. And like I said, so far I've already had 2 setbacks. I lost my balloons. I loved my balloons. I had plans to use them the entire week, the 1K balloons. And the only time I did use them, I actually had them backwards on the screen, which was extremely frustrating because, and then you literally saw when it broke loose with my flip-flop and it was gone. It was gone up in the sky. You see it floating away and you could see a literal look of shock on my face, which was terrible. Day 3 we get into. Day 3 was probably the hardest one that I've ever done, and that was the 1,000 flights of stairs. Thanks so much. Car challenge is the craziest one you've done so far. Yeah, it could. I'm not sure, Kev, if you mean pushing the car or driving the car literally 10.5 hours to 1,000 kilometers as I went around. Just living life. Good to see you. Don't worry about being late. Really, it's different time. With different time zones, 8:30 means different things to different people. Don't worry about it. I'm not sweating it at all. So the next day, I'm out there doing the 1,000 flights of stairs. I get there. I start at 5:04 p.m. I had no idea how long this was going to take me, but I knew it was going to take me a long time. It ended up taking me 5 hours. It was killer. As you saw, and that is with 100% the hardest challenge I've ever done. I've run 1 marathon. I've done a few half marathons, but that just literally up and down stairs for 5 hours was killer. I'd love to see how some of these endurance athletes like Hooded Hillhopper or CL Furlong or Ultramarathon Steve, some of these other guys, how they would handle it. How they handle literally just flights of stairs for 5 hours. I don't know how long it would take them to do 1,000 flights of stairs, but for me, someone who doesn't have a lot of stairs in his life, it was a grind the entire way doing those stairs, and it was killer. My Achilles was dying the next day. Kristen Welton, fantastic, great to see you. No worries about being late. Just show up when you get here. You stay while you can. It's just a chance for all of us to get together, all of us BS lifers together. We're just talking about 1,000 flights of stairs. The next day, my Achilles was wrecked. My knees were killing me from going down the stairs because, as you know, as you go along the whole way through, as you're going along, up, down, up, down. It's 12 stairs to a flight. So I literally did 12 stairs. That was 1. Back down, up again, 2. I did that 1,000 times the whole way through. It was killer. It was exhausting as I went through. So it was one of those things that I went through. Hey, our designations, good to see you. Good to see you. it was exhausting, which is part of the reason why the next day I decided to do the 10-hour drive, the 1,000-kilometer drive, because I thought if I drive 1,000 kilometers, I've got one day to let my body rest. Because as I was going through, I had to. After the first day of the jumping jacks, then little recovery time because I did that when I did that. Then the second day pushing the car hard on the calves. Then the third day as we go along, I did 1,000 flights of stairs. I wasn't sure, and I had a bunch of other challenges, 1,000 challenges that I had that I left on the cutting room floor, and I'll mention those after. Some of them I think might have been more fun for you guys to watch, but some of them literally might have just absolutely destroyed me as I went along. After the 1,000-kilometer drive, literally I left Ottawa, left here around I don't know 11 o'clock. Turned around, drove straight to Quebec City. Got in there. Get away with Pam. Great to see you. Virtual hugs. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Pam. And it always makes me smile when someone's his friend. I don't know, just something with that. It warms the heart. Warms the heart. as anyway. Thanks for dropping by, Maru. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you. As you go along, so I did 1,000-kilometer drive. Literally drove from Ottawa to Quebec City, turned right around, and came straight back. That was my entire day. Only got out of the car once because even the gas, what they're doing there to help stop the spread of everything is it's all full serve. So as you go through with the full serve right there, it was one of those things. And I got out, grabbed some McDonald's, which as an aside, I'm no finely tuned machine, but that McDonald's mixed with the Twizzlers and the peanut M&Ms wasn't going great. And that was my setback that day, is the peanut M&Ms rolling around my floor pedals. And like I said in one of the other things, I can't remember what it was, there's a reason why I don't take cottage cheese on a road trip, because you understand that if you take cottage cheese on a road trip, when you spill it, it's so hard. You're trying to scoop the cottage cheese off your seat or off your pants or shorts. Anyway, it's just not a good look leaving your car when your shorts or pants have been covered in cottage cheese. And I'm not saying it's happened to me, but if it has, it can be awkward. You're untucking your shirt, you're tying a hoodie around your waist, you're doing everything you can because you realize, I don't know correct term, but we'll just call it cottage cheese crotch. No one wants that. That's not good. No one wants that. So you want to make sure you're careful with what you eat as your road snacks. And we've all had different road snacks gone wrong, whether it be the time I tried to eat chili while driving or the time I tried to have soup while driving. They were not successful. Cottage cheese was also bad. So now I'm moving towards, like, I had the cucumber. And I was given a hard time about eating the cucumber because on the cucumber, I peeled off a little bit of a wrapper. And I figured it's clean. But then someone sent me a message saying that you're still supposed to wash the cucumber when it comes out of the wrapper. And I said, when I take my chips out of the bag, I don't wash each and every chip. If that cucumber is wrapped, is it not ready to be eaten? If any of you out there, like in the BS Life, who are checked in right now, can let me know. Are those cucumbers? I honestly, I really thought they're clean. I've never washed them in my life. I've knock on wood. I've got a great stomach. I've eaten street food all over the world. Even I found out after. So I was in I was in Cambodia just this past fall, and I didn't realize till after I got home that apparently Cambodia is the worst place in the world to eat street food from. And I understand why, because because you can get a huge meal for $1.25 American. It was fantastic, with meats and noodles and spices and everything. And you pay another $1 and you get a full, like, huge size freshly cut mango smoothie. And they're putting all the mango in there right in front of you. So your entire meal is $2.25 American. So for my Canadian friends, that's the equivalent of, like, I don't know, $38 Canadian, roughly, give or take. So when you're there, but I realized why so many people get sick eating there is because when they're eating there, they don't refrigerate anything, right? Everything sits in a cooler, but there's nothing in the cooler except for the things they're cooking for you. But knock on wood, I had no major issues in Cambodia. Stomach was solid, everything was tight, no issues. Anyway, so that was the day. I had the McDonald's, I had the snacks on the drive. That was one day. Then the next day was the rice challenge. It was my first ever mukbang, so I'm officially a mukbanger. A few people weren't really sure what it meant to be a mukbanger, but it means that someone who eats food while other people watch. So I did my first ever rice challenge. And as an aside, don't forget, if someone knows whether or not you should be washing cucumbers that come out of bags, please let me know in the chat. I'd love to know that stuff. When I was mukbanging the rice, it's really slow. Like, counting out every single grain to get 1,000 grains of rice, incredibly tedious. So these places, like when you go to, like, the Mandarin Chinese food buffet or any of these places, when they're, like, doing the rice stuff, there's no way they're counting it out by hand. It would just take them so incredibly long. So for me, It was one of those things. I can't just to prove a point. I will do 1,000 to show my thank you to all of you fantastic people who are a part of my life, which I absolutely love. It's so great having you all in my life and being a part of my BS life. So thank you for that. So as I'm counting out all the rice one by one, I get them all. I bought that big bag of rice, and I intentionally bought it because it seems like I honestly haven't bought rice in years. I just don't eat much rice, and now I know why. Because to be honest, I didn't love it. When other people like serve me rice, it tastes way better. Not near as crunchy. But when I ate it, that stuff is hard on my teeth. I've never had a cavity. I've got all my teeth, well, not all of them. I'm supposing this way I'm not a whole man. I'm mostly man, not a whole man, because I have had my 4 wisdom teeth removed. So I don't know if that makes me less of a man or no longer a whole man, but I digress. But I have had my wisdom teeth out for those of you who are wondering about my dental situation. Anyway, so I'm counting out all the rice, and I have them all in these beautiful little piles, little pockets, like a 10, 10, 10, 10. Because I thought if once something gets bumped, I don't want to recount this whole table covered in rice. So I get the rice going, I get all counted out, boom. It takes me a while. I play that for you guys in high speed just because no one wants to watch someone count out 1,000 grains of rice. At least I don't think so. So that was high speed. From there, though, when I started eating it, it was really crunchy. That rice was really hard on the teeth. So again, I got what typically, like if I'm having Chinese food, I like that cherry sauce. It's delicious in those little balls. Those little chicken balls. They're like little bits of chicken with all kinds of batter, and you batter them up and you dip those balls in the pink sauce, and you can just chow down on those little saucy balls. They're delicious. And when you go through and you're nibbling away on those guys, it's fantastic. So I thought, let's bring that same cherry sauce experience over. Let's bring it over to the rice. It was the saving grace, because I'm telling you right now, that stuff was scratchy as can be. It was crazy scratchy. So most people cook the rice, most anyways. Okay, this is good to know. And someone else, Kristen, someone else gave me a hard time about not washing the rice. Again, the rice came out of a bag. I don't understand. People are all getting all up in arms like, Brad, you're some kind of savage. You're eating cucumbers that are out of bags. You're eating rice that's out of bags. Do you know what else I eat out of bags? Snickers bars. I eat potato chips out of bags. I eat pasta that comes out of bags. That being said, I do cook the pasta, so maybe that's a bad example. But I eat a lot of stuff that comes out of bags, it appears, right? And cheese comes out of basically a glorified bag. It's all like zip tight like that in that little rectangular shape mostly, or you can get them as little circles. But for the most part, they come in like rectangular prisms. So the rice was a bit controversial. People gave me a hard time about not cooking it. But I think for sake of time, the cooking really would have added a lot of length to that. I know some people, they're trying to get more, but I thought, I'm just going to go right into this rice. I'm going to tell you, if you haven't eaten a lot of raw rice yourself, it is scratchy. It's scratchy going down, but I had no physical repercussions after. And I had a few people ask me about that. They said, are you worried about being sore? I was like, why am I going to be sore? I've eaten rice before, I never had an issue. But apparently if you uncook the rice, you eat it uncooked, it triples in size or whatever by the next day. So it goes from like this much to like this much. Well, I only had 1,000 grains, so it wasn't too bad. From there, we went on after the rice mukbang, then we went on to the swimming. And oh no, Kristen, now thanks, Kristen. Thanks for coming into my life now. Well, rinse the rice. Fair enough. Lesson learned. Thank you. So that took me the next day of swimming 1 kilometer or 1,000 meters. So for that one right there, I stepped in, and then for me, it was not my pool, but I knew where there's a pool that I figured I could use without any major issues. So I got in, I got camera 1, camera 2. I had 2 cameras. Camera 1, my A camera. I don't know if that's really what it's called in the business, but I went with my A camera. That was my iPhone 8. I set it up. Then my B camera, which is my second camera, was my iPhone 5, which I had at the back. Tony Claire, good to see you. Welcome. Always a treat to have a member of the BS Life community join us. So I had camera A set up at one end, camera B set up the other, and that way you could tell there's no shenanigans. I am really swimming this thing. So I swam back and forth, and I had my Canadian change counting system there. I had my flip-flop, because I had 1 flip-flop still, had it there. I point out the different bits of Canadian change, because one thing I love about traveling is seeing all kinds of different change in different countries. It's amazing. Some countries you leave, you're not supposed to take the money. Sometimes you forget you have one in your pocket. These things happen. Who am I to say I could have a small amount of money from Cuba? It happens. My American friends is probably worse for you than it is for me. But for me, I'm allowed to come and go from Cuba, and for some of you, you can. Yes, Kristen, some life lessons. If you can learn from my mistakes, and trust me, I have made many of them. I hope you can learn many of them. It's one of those things. So as I did the 1K swim, the 1,000-meter swim, I went back and forth, back and forth. I got it done, and I got out of there. That was a great challenge, but it did leave me really sore through the top of the shoulders. Chris wants to know, do you brush your teeth in the morning or before bed or both? A dilemma I have at the moment. My oral hygiene practice is pretty straightforward. In the morning after my cereal and before bed. The rest of the day, I basically neglect my teeth. Now, some of you might say, thanks so much for coming out, Jay. I appreciate you being here. I love the support all the way from Fukuoka. I know there's a bit of a time change between you and I. Much love, my friend. Stay in touch. So my oral hygiene, like I said earlier, I'm not saying this to brag. I'm not trying to put anyone down if that's an issue for you, but I have no cavities. I haven't had a cavity, no fillings, no crowns going along. As we go through, is this going to be the case my entire life? I don't know. My dad's a big guy. I'm still a little bit afraid of him. And so I know if I do get a cavity, it will be an issue with him. And I still don't want to fight him. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to just keep brushing my teeth. I don't floss as often as I should probably just twice a week. I think you're supposed to floss way more often, but that's my, those are my oral hygiene practices. For those of you who are wondering out there, I do like chewing gum, typically mint flavors, and I often have mints I chew on as well, just because I like crunchy things. I used to chew on a lot of ice, but apparently that's bad. So I've got all kinds of like little cracks in my teeth. Nothing too severe. Don't worry for those of you who are concerned about my teeth. I do not need to go see an orthodontist or anything like that. Anyway, so from here, we roll into, oh, Wander J, thank you so much. Great to see you as part of the live stream. Drop by any time. I can't remember where in the world you are, but it's always great to see you. Glorious Life on Wheels. Can't stay long or late. Starting dinner, just popping the like and show support. Thank you so much. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the support. Any likes, any support, much appreciated. Means a lot to me. So then we get into Sunday. Sunday was the day for me where, as I was going through, I was trying to finish off the challenge, and I had the 1,001 burpees as I was going through. So as I was doing 1,001 burpees, this was grueling. It was wet. It was raining out. Everything was slippery around. I'd slept horrible the night before. I was still sore from all the swimming, but I got it done. That was my 1K a day challenge for a week. To thank all of you for being such an amazing part of my life, my BS life, my community, for what you've done for me. Really, it's been so amazing. You guys have brought so much to my life, and really, you guys have really helped hold me accountable. I get asked why I started my whole YouTube journey. It was pretty straightforward. I started my YouTube journey because at one point, a buddy of mine challenged me. He said, like, you need to do this. You lead a quirky life. People might find this stuff interesting. So as you go along, like, start filming stuff you do. Thank you so much, Wander J. That's really kind of you to say. If I can inspire anyone, that's great. Join in. All the videos are easy to modify. Or if you ever see a workout I do and you're not sure how to modify it, send me a message. If you don't want to post it publicly, just find me on Instagram, mybslifebrad. Send it through. I get back to everybody, or send me a Gmail by mybslifebrad@gmail.com. Very simple, mybslifebrad@gmail.com. Put it through there. I get back to everybody eventually. I'm pretty good about getting back to people. I try to make sure I put aside that time as we go through. So it's one of those things where I'm just trying to, I kind of lead a quirky life. So my buddy Mike challenged me to do this. So we had a challenge to see who'd have more subscribers at the end of the first month. And he 100% beat me. And I was like, well, let's double or nothing, because we had like beer and pizza wagered on it. So I said, let's double or nothing this. So by the end of month 2, I was a little bit ahead of him. But by then, the part I enjoyed the most about this whole YouTube experience, this whole YouTube journey for me, was the fact that basically it helped hold me accountable. So days when I wouldn't necessarily do a workout, I kept working out. And so that's kind of the impetus for where this got going. What a lot of people have asked me too is, what were some of the 1K day challenges that ended up on the cutting room floor? One of the 1K day challenges that I was convinced was a good idea, I really wanted to do this one, was I wanted to try and do 1,000 cartwheels. Now, I'm not sure how realistic 1,000 cartwheels is, but I thought 1,000 cartwheels would have been amazing. Thank you so much, Homestead Aquarius. Completely agree. Just all of us working together across the world. It's one thing where we can all support each other in all different lives and all different styles as we go through. So yeah, I completely agree that it's great. Cooperation, not competition. And I've said this to someone else before. They said, are you worried about if you subscribe to someone's channel that they won't subscribe to yours anymore? I said, no, like there's millions of people on YouTube. It's like someone dipping a glass of water in the ocean and taking a drink. There's so many more people out there. So find people that you connect with, find people you support, find people whose company you genuinely enjoy, or people that you'd love to spend time with in real life. And that's what I've tried to surround myself with on YouTube. So a lot of the people who you see me having like these little banters with back and forth, it's because I've had a chance to get to know them a bit. I get a chance to chat with them a little bit as we go along. And that's so cool. That's so amazing. Just getting a chance to know different people. So for me, I don't have a great fitness community here. Like there's only a few people that I can work out with, but very few people want to work out the same way I do, with the same level of intensity, the same level of grind. That's where it came from. So one of the 1K challenges that didn't happen, but that was going to happen, but I got talked out of, was 1,000 cartwheels. If you think I should have done 1,000 cartwheels, let me know. I don't even know if 1,000 cartwheels is possible. Maybe 1,000 cartwheels literally would have been the end of my shoulders and my arms. I'm not sure. Another one I thought about doing was 1,000 like front rolls. So like head down between your legs, roll over, roll over, roll over 1,000 times. So that was another one that I thought about that was going to be going on. But in the end, like that one made me nervous too, because I thought I can only spin in circles so many times before I have a major issue. Another one of the ones that ended up on the cutting room floor, because I was trying to do 1,000 of something, right? Everything had to be 1,000. I wanted to, because it took me 4 months to get 1,000 subscribers. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, Mashana. Welcome. Good to have you going on in the house. So because Tony Claire, 100% you're right. I would definitely get dizzy, but I got every challenge and it was hard. The mukbang one was really hard on my little teeth. The rice, crack, 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 crack. And the swimming one, hard on the shoulders. The stairs, hard on the knees. But the cartwheels, for sure, that would have been hard. And the somersaults would have been really hard on me as well. The other one I thought about doing was because it took me 4 months to get 1,000 subscribers. So what I want to do was 1,000 milliliters, 1 liter of 4 different drinks, pour them in a jug and drink them all at the same time. So I was going to do like 4 of my favorite drinks. I was going to do a liter of iced tea. I was going to do a liter of water, a liter of chocolate milk, and of course a liter of Five Alive, because who doesn't love Five Alive to go with their breakfast sandwiches? But I also got talked out of this one. One, I'm not sure my stomach could handle 4 liters of fluid, but then also people didn't think that maybe that mix of 4 liters of fluid was great. You know, the mix of chocolate milk with water, with iced tea, with Five Alive. So if any of you have any feedback on the mixing of fluids as you go through there, let me know. Like it's new to me. I don't usually mix a lot of fluids like that because, as you know, sometimes mixing fluids can have negative repercussions on the old digestive system. Sometimes it can race to leave one end or the other. Anyway, I digress. So that was another challenge that ended up on the cutting room floor. Another one was going to be, this one I thought long and hard about, was again sticking with the number 1,000, was doing 1,000 laps of a track, like a high school track, doing 1,000 laps. Until I did the math and realized I think that's around 400 kilometers. And I thought, I'm not a long distance runner. I can't do 400 kilometers of track, but I thought something that looked cool in high speed, just going around a track 1,000 times. So what really boxed me in was this idea, this notion of the fact that I had to do 1,000. I had to do 1,000 of whatever it was. That's why it became 1,000 grains of rice, 1,000 kilometer drive, became 1,000 flights of stairs, which was ridiculous, 1,000 burpees, which became 1,001, 1,000 jumping jacks as I went along. So as we go through, and then the final one, there's 2 other ones that were also ended up on the cutting room floor. One was doing the bear crawl or the lobster crawl. That's where you're like on with your chest facing up and your feet on the ground and your palms on the ground behind you as you go along and you walk a full kilometer or 1,000 meters that way. I talked myself out of that one. And then the other one was literally rolling myself, like just on my side, like on a path, and have a pedometer to know when I did like 1,000 rolls. But again, I talked myself out of these ones. I don't feel like they would necessarily have been the best choice for me as I went along. So those are some of the ones that ended up on the cutting room floor. If any of you ever have a suggestion for, because what I've decided, and from feedback I've gotten from so many of you, and thank you so much for your feedback. One of the feedback I got from you guys was the fact that I should do 1K challenge more often. So I'm gonna do 2 things starting September. So this is a new month, and happy September 1st to everyone. This is amazing. September 1st, I don't think it's officially the first day of autumn, but we're certainly getting closer. You can tell by how quickly it gets dark here, at least where I am, Ottawa, Canada. Capital of Canada, if I hadn't mentioned that, I believe I had. Welcome to the capital. If you haven't been to Ottawa, Canada, welcome to the capital. Cold half the year and sweaty the other half the year. So you're always dealing with some kind of precipitation, either from your body or on top of your body. That's how it goes. If you've got a suggestion for a 1K challenge for me, let me know what you think I should do. I love your feedback. I'm gonna do a 1K challenge this month. I'm not sure what it is. And I've also got a lot of positive feedback on my rice mukbang. So if you have an idea for a mukbang for me, either send it to me on Instagram, mybslifebrad, send it to me on Gmail, mybslifebrad@gmail.com, or just send it to me in any comment from a video. I would love to hear back from you on what you think I should do for a 1K challenge or a mukbang. I did the rice. I didn't love the rice one as my first mukbang, just because I don't really enjoy eating such crunchy rice. Anyway, that's just where I'm at. If any of you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them. Chris has asked a few questions, which is great. If you have a question, don't be afraid to hit me with a question. That's what we're here for. Q&A. Get to know me. If something's on your mind. As you see, like I can just kind of ramble on and talk about stuff as we go along. I have no problems doing that. And one of the things I got a lot of feedback. Oh, so one of the stories I didn't get a chance to tell, 1,000 O Canadas. Like singing the song or just saying O Canada 1,000 times. I'm still not sure. People would love that. It was just me, like, I say 1,000 hellos, but I don't know if I need written permission from people to film and say hello, hello, hello. Anyway, I feel like that can be a little over the top. Hey, Furlong, welcome. Welcome. I know you are from literally across the world. Chris is coming in, a great friend of mine who I had a chance to chat with outside of here as well. Thanks for sneaking in just to say hi. He's in Australia. He's in Melbourne. I lived in Melbourne, Australia for a year, so I've got some much respect for my Australian brothers and sisters over there, and for the fact that they wear like toques, or as they call them, beanies, and they thanks so much for dropping by, Chris. And they wear toques or beanies when it's only like +7 blows my mind, which is why when I was there, everyone kept saying, "Oh, you're tough. You Canadians are so tough. How do you handle winter like this?" Well, it was +11, so I was wearing like a hoodie and shorts and sneakers. Anyway, I digress. So one of the stories when I was in Hong Kong that I had a chance to share in the way I put it together was going into the hotel in Hong Kong. The catfish in Hong Kong was crazy because I booked it online. I showed the picture of my initial hotel that I thought I had of going to the hotel. Thanks so much, Keen. Your progress for your channel is growing amazing. Do you have any advice? Yeah. When I'm done this Hong Kong story, I'll 100% tell you the things I did, and if it helps anyone, go for it. Yeah, 100%. Oh, singing of Canada 1,000 times. Oh my goodness, Kristen. I think that'd be bad news. In the video I put it the other day, I broke into song. I started singing during the 1,000 Burpees. I started singing Vanessa Williams, Save the Best for Last. I don't know where that came from. I haven't heard that song in so long, but I popped her picture up there as we went through. So I go to Hong Kong. I've got this address. You're walking down this crazy busy street, and I fly into Hong Kong. I don't know anyone. I take the train into the city, and most of the countries I go to, I don't speak the language at all. I speak some French. I speak decent enough English. Depends where you go. When I was in London, apparently I don't speak proper English, but that's another story. So I'm in Hong Kong. I find this hotel. Tamika, great to see you. And Tamika, she just doesn't quit, going on and on. Thank you, Tamika. Great to see you. So I get to Hong Kong, but one thing I don't realize is I'm walking through all these money lenders and all these little grocers, and that's how you need to try and get through to your place. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Sika, thank you. Good to see you. Welcome. I may have got that. I may have mispronounced your title, but hello to you as well. So I'm walking through this place, and as I go through, I get to the elevator. Well, the elevator doesn't go to my floor, so I get off the floor, and you saw that stairwell. That stairwell is one of the worst things I've ever seen. You get into your room, literally, you stretch your arms out from one side to the other, and as you go across, you realize that you can touch both sides. The toilet is immediately under the shower, and I should have known something was fishy when they gave me my key to my room and they handed me a half-finished roll of toilet paper. That should have been my first sign. That was enough. That wasn't enough for me though. as we go along. When I get in there at the bed, there's a substantial hole in the middle, and you saw the stains in the sheets. That's not cool. So I had to put my own towel down over top of it. But the problem was it was so hot that when I ran the air conditioner, it all pooled down the bed and filled the pit that I was sleeping in. I ended up getting soaked that entire night. Disaster. My trip to Hong Kong. I love the city. The food was amazing. The people were great, but that hotel was not fantastic. Tony, Brad, I was curious to hear more about your family. Do they ever join you in your workouts? It's funny you ask my family. Keen, I've not forgotten your question. I will 100% get to it. This is a quicker answer. Family, my daughter does join me sometimes. She does not want to be on camera. She's been adamant about that. She said camera life is not for her, but full credit, she's happy to share her thoughts and her comments on everything. So any of you who've got kids, you can relate, you can appreciate that for sure. So she's always sharing her ideas. She often does workouts off camera though. So when she did the one in the bleachers, she did the bleacher burner with me that same day. She did it one time, and then when the guy started mowing the lawn, I had to refilm it that second time the same day with Chris later on, and then cut out. Then the third time was actually the third time through to get that one filmed, to get that one done that day. Good question. Keen, you asked a great question. Tips for growing channel. So what I did to grow my channel, like I said before, I got to my 1,000 subs in just under 4 months. I think like four days shy of 4 months. So for me, my big thing is I replied to everyone's comments. I replied to everyone's comments, no matter what they were. I would try and give them a heartfelt reply as much as I could. I'm a horrible typer. I literally type with like 3 fingers, 3 on one hand, 2 on the other. I'm not a great typer. I often reply with talk to text, which sometimes gets me in trouble because I'll see what talk has crossed my words over, then I'll have to like fix it, or I'll have to edit it because I realize I've said something there that really wasn't the intended message. I don't need to get into what some of them were, but some of them were not great. Anyway, so I rallied those. I think I caught most of those from going through. So number one thing I did, I replied to every single person's comments instead of just giving a heart. Because if you expect people to care about you, then show that you care about them. Take an interest in what they're doing. So my big thing is legitimately, I'm trying to build a community. Now, how long am I going to be able to reply to everyone's comments? I have no idea. I'm over 1,000 subs now. I'm still replying to every single person's comment. And one thing I've actually done to try and keep my comments in check is, I know a lot of you do what I do. You pin the first one at the top. It's like, share your favorite bag of chips, or what's your favorite workout place you've ever done. But as some of you else here, because almost everyone here is a content creator like I am, you realize that when those ones are going out and those comments go out, you don't know when people reply to those necessarily. So what I try to do is when I repost my next video, I change my last pin at the same time. That's one of the things that I've done. And I know a few have slipped through the cracks where I haven't changed them, but almost all of them, one of the best things I've done is I changed that pin, and I changed that pin to a link to another one of my videos. So for instance, if say the question of the day was, where's your favorite place to, so when I was working out, one of the workouts I did, I was in a weird place. I asked this question like something, have you ever worked out by the water before? That was my question. And then when the next video came out, I changed that pin to become, see where I completed 150 Navy SEALs or something like that. Thanks so much for dropping by, Homestead Aquarius. I love the fact you came by. Thank you so much. I appreciate you spending any time. If you dropped in a thumbs up, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of my BS Life. So what I do is I change the pinned comment. So Keen, to answer your question, that's one thing. If you're not pinning a comment, pin a comment for sure, because it stays at the top. So everyone who's coming through is always going to see that comment. But once that video is old, and by old, I mean like if you put 2 other videos out before it, it's not getting checked near as much. At least for me, my numbers, once they pass, with the exception of a few, for the most part, they stay kind of static, and a few people kind of roll through. But switch out that pin, because then what it does is it puts a link to something else that you've put out. So like my first 2 pieces of advice for sure, reply to everyone's comment, and not just a heart. If you're someone who just gives hearts, fair enough, no judgment. But for me, I'm trying to give everyone a little bit of time. Because if I'm hoping my goal is them to give me a little bit of time, then the least I can do is give them a little bit of my time. So that's the number one thing is comments. The second one is the pinned comment for me has been so important. I always pin something, but then also remembering to switch your pin out. Because sometimes if I'm behind in one of your videos, I might log on to one of your videos that's because sometimes like I subscribe to a whole bunch of people, right now, and you can hear my my only camera in the house going off. So that's just what it is. My only phone in the house going off. So we'll just ignore that because that's also my camera. But this right here, anyway, I suppose I probably should turn that off. Maybe that's poor form. I don't know. My first live stream. I'll definitely correct that for next time. As we continue on, change the pinned comment. Change the pinned comment as you go through, because that pinned comment makes a huge difference. It's the first thing everybody sees, and it's the first thing you want to make sure links back to your own stuff. So have it as a question, because that improves your engagement rate. I'm not a huge analytics guy. Some people, if you have a question like Tuber Chat, that's a great guy. Talk to him. Kevin Kindler, he's a wealth of information. He's got all kinds of stuff. He can definitely help you out with the analytics side. I'm not an analytics guy. That's not my strength. I'm not a tech guy, honestly, or I would have thought to turn the ringer off my phone. More than once I've been filming a workout video and someone will call midway through and it's crushing because it literally shuts the video off. And you can understand you're in the middle of like 200 of whatever. It just kills your momentum and kills your flow. So yeah, so I'm trying to build my channel. I don't know if I'm doing this the right way. I'm doing it the way that I know best, which is just through relationships. Just get to know people, have people get to know you and let them realize that you're legit. Like, this is who I am. Like I said, if you've been here for 5 minutes, you've been here for 55 minutes or whatever been going on, or if you've seen the videos, who you see there, that's who I am in real life. Which is why I started doing the BS Banters, because the workout videos were forcing me to stay in shape. They were holding me accountable, doing them every single day, filming 2 weeks, getting them on. But then people were telling me like no one gets to know your personality there. So it's one of those things where the BS Banter became just for me to kind of show like this is who I am. Keen, happy to help, and I've got more advice in a second for sure. Food Fight Showdown, great to see you. Hello BS. It's funny. Whenever someone says BS on there, it makes me smile. Because anytime I've played sports with buddies, anytime I see friends of mine, they almost all call me BS, just because Brad's pretty common. So I get a lot of BS talk. So it's pretty funny. It is what it is. Thanks, Michonne. I love the thumbs up. So like I said, fixing those pins, making sure you go through. The other one I was going to say is check 2 things. Check your spam and check your held comments. The reason why you check them is because sometimes in the beginning, when I only had like 7 subscribers, I was hoping for stuff in the spam. But over time, you realize like if someone's just going to do sub for sub, what you see really quickly is your numbers yo-yo. And it becomes so frustrating, especially when you're first starting out and like you literally track those numbers every single day. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm at 6 subscribers or I'm at 46 subscribers as you go through. And it's funny, I still have it right here. I've started this since day 1. This is how I'm a numbers guy. Literally on this scrap of paper, I've written down every single night when I went to bed since I started my YouTube journey, how many subscribers I had that day. Now, I'm sure YouTube offers this information, but for me, it was a way just to let me know how I went along. Thank you, Wendell. Great to see you. Hey, Mira, great to see you. Happy to have you here. It's amazing. Thanks so much, Wendell. Love the congrats. So I knew that when I first started on April 22nd, I had 0 subscribers. I know that on April 29th, I had 32 subscribers, and they were almost all people who were in my life. Like friends, family, people I hadn't been in touch with, people I'm tracking down on Instagram. That's kind of how I track people now. And then from there, I see like on May 5th, we're talking 11 days later, I went up by 2. So as you go along, it's one of those things. I literally tracked it because for me, the numbers gave me feedback. So when I used to train for running, I was competitive with myself. Like, could I do it? And so as I've been training for Navy SEALs, it's like, okay, I did 100. Now I did 125, 150. Now I did 200. My goal is 500. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to 500. That's a freaking lot of Navy SEALs because, as you know, each Navy SEAL is 3 push-ups. As you go through, it's tough. So one of the things, as advice, I mentioned the comments, I mentioned the pin, I mentioned the reply to everyone. From there, stay home. From there, the next one, check your spam and check your held comments. Sometimes there's gems in there. I don't know how they end up in there sometimes. Some of them are great and some of them are garbage. Like some of them too, you really don't want as part of your, like, you'd rather not have a comment than have that comment up there. So some comments I delete outright because they're like sexually explicit and stuff like that, where people are just trying to they're trying to bring you to somewhere else. And some of that is just not my brand. It's just not what I want to be. It's not the kind of community I want to host. I want to have the kind of site where if someone's logging on for a workout, if they're working out with their kids, if their kids are watching the BS Banter with them, they're not worried about someone cursing because I don't curse. That's not my way. I'm not a big cursor as we go through, as we go along. So if you're thinking about it, check those. But that's one thing that's been important to me is because my daughter ends up watching a ton of the stuff I film. She'll often be like with me by the green screen, which as you guys all know now is just a bunch of cardboard paper in my basement on the wall. She's down there like giving me feedback on stuff. Some of it I use, some of it I don't, but she's got a lot of strong opinions and I want to honor those. But I also know that what I'm putting out, I want to make sure that if my 11-year-old can watch it, that it's going to be okay for your kid too, because that's just the way I am. So like if you ever want to try doing one of my workouts with your family, like it could be like the belly blaster in the road that Steph's Maru did, or it could be the bleacher burnout one. Those are great ones. Those can all be modified. Okay, those can all be modified for sure, and they're so easy to do. They're so easy to modify. If you ever want to know about how to modify a workout, just ask me. I'm so happy to help you out with that. Just my fitness journey. You can see from the beginning transformation one. Thank you, Nanette Fortes. That's really kind of you to say. Congrats. It means a lot. Thanks so much. If I can help you on your journey, that's amazing. If somehow me working out inspires someone else to work out, that's fantastic. Because if you look at my pictures are on there legit. Like when I said I did that 15 days and 30-day transformation beginning ones, that's exactly what I did. For 15 days, for 30 days actually, I had no desserts, no treats, no sweets. I had no liquid calories. I literally only drank water. Now it's easier for me than for some of you because I don't drink coffee to start with. I know people are gonna be like, really? You don't drink coffee? I know. I'm wound this tight. Like from when I wake up till I go to bed, I kind of run at this speed all day. So this is kind of weird. Thanks so much, Mira. I really appreciate the congratulations. I kind of run at this speed all day. I'm lucky. I'm a high energy guy. Some people who are near and dear to me in my life, sometimes my high energy can be a little bit much for them sometimes, as you can imagine. But in the end, this is just who I am. So as you're working out, I'm happy to help you modify yours as you go through, because those transformations for me were legit. I literally did 300 abs every single day. In the beginning, I couldn't do 300 in a row. I put my ab workout, my original one, on there. All my first workouts were filmed in the basement because I was propping my iPhone 8 up with blocks of wood. So that was the easiest way for me to do it because I didn't have a tripod. I literally had nothing. I was using couch cushions and blocks of wood. That was my entire setup. If you're wondering how a small YouTuber starts, it's with couch cushions, blocks of wood, and an iPhone 8. That was the beginning. In case you're wondering, on my journey, I've literally spent no money at all on my YouTube journey because I thought I'm not making any money off YouTube, so I'm not spending any money on YouTube. That's been my philosophy so far. So far, I've stuck with it. I haven't spent money on any extra resources. I haven't spent money on anything. The tripods were given to me as a gift by a friend who said that they felt like it was ridiculous for me carrying blocks of wood with me out to grassy fields to film stuff, which I thought was sweet. Yeah, Wendell, it's true. I don't drink coffee. There's very few of us out there. So for me, I'm not spending a ton of money on YouTube stuff because YouTube's not paying me any money. And I got asked this week, am I close to monetization? I'm not even close to monetization. And in the end, if I never make any money off YouTube, in the end, what YouTube has done for me is it's helped me get in better shape. It's helped me get stronger. It's helped me get fitter. It's helped me represent a healthy lifestyle to my daughter, showing that she used to joke about me being sumo dad. I never felt like I was that heavy, but I was 25 pounds heavier of just fat. So she jokes about that for sure. I've been reading the comments while I'm talking. If you drink publicly, be honest, Euro Dangerfield. Yeah, for sure. I do drink publicly, not in Canada because it's illegal to have alcohol in the streets, but in Europe, lots of places you can have a pop out in the street for sure. But as you're talking as you go along for different things, like do your workouts. If some people are getting all elaborate setups, I think it's amazing. You definitely get crisper, cleaner footage, but in the end, it just becomes, what are you trying to get out of YouTube? Are you trying to make, if you're trying to make YouTube your living, then for sure put the money into it. I don't know how much small to medium-sized YouTubers make. Maybe someone out there can share with us. I honestly have no idea what they make a month. Are they making hundreds? Are they making thousands? Are they making like 10, 15 bucks a month? I have no idea. But like I said, for me, my goal here is just I can lead a healthy lifestyle. And if someone else can learn from that, that's amazing. Another one that I was going to say too is another tip for growing your brand or your channel that I've done is remember, no one knows you exist. So if you're just waiting for people to find you in your YouTube journey, it's probably not going to happen. There's so many channels out there that what are you going to do that makes you different? What are you going to do that sets you apart? And whatever that is, so find other channels that are similar to you. Find other channels that you know are people that do things like you want to do them. And then you build that community. Like I've had a chance to build a community with, you saw him on here earlier, CL Furlong, with Hooded Hillhopper, with Purpose Driven, with Steps with Maru. And I know as soon as you start naming people, you always forget people. But Kristen, Tuber Chat, like a whole bunch of people, with Wendell. Like I've had a chance to meet all kinds of people. Oh, Jay Caesar in the house. Great to see you, my friend. Another one who I've gotten to know through YouTube. And you get to meet these amazing people in different parts of the world. And I can't remember where Jay Caesar is. He's down in the States somewhere. I can't remember offhand. I read it at some point. I just don't remember. So Jay, if you can let me know, let me know. But we're all like, we're bringing people together across the world, and we get to meet these really cool people who we would otherwise never meet. Like I would never meet these guys from California who love to do long distance running, because I'm not a long distance runner. Like I couldn't do it. My body just wouldn't hold up. So for me, that's one of those things. But like I said, if you're going through and if you're expecting everyone to find you, in my experience, it wasn't happening. So I had to go out there and find other people myself, find other people who are maybe not necessarily doing the exact same thing as you, but you feel like you've got something in common with. Because people that I've got something in common with, I can build that relationship. Great to see you, Adrian and Nico. Two other fellow Canadians here, and we're just talking about people that you get to know from all over the world as you go along. Okay, all over the world. He's giving me grief for my hockey team, the Senators. We are a disaster. The last time we were in the playoffs was 2007. So we got a long way to go. Anyway, that's it. I digress. I don't need to go on hockey talk right now. It's hard of my heart, but I am enjoying the playoffs. Yeah, there you go. So Caesar, yeah, he's living in LA. So this is another guy I'm talking across the world. And as we said right there, Adrian, Nico, they're at the other end of Canada. And for some of you who know this, Canada's a big country. From one end to the other, we can jam most of Europe in Canada. Now that doesn't mean anything besides we're a big country. We got a lot of open space, as some of you guys have seen. But it gives a chance to bring different people together. So this world, and like I said, by connecting with different people, you have a chance to find other people who maybe work out different than you, but you've got a similar philosophy. So for instance, Adrian and Nico, they've got a very different style than I do, the way they present, but there's a lot of similarities. They've got something that they bring, which is really cool. They've got the banter that they can go back and forth because there's two of them. They do some different stuff, which is awesome, but there's enough overlap too. So it's all different ages, all different demographics going through, and we bring us all together as we go through. Yeah, Chris Bruce Toys talking about the time to get free giveaways like Oprah, you get a car. Yeah, Canada's only hope is having trouble in the NHL playoffs for sure. So that was another one of my tips. The other thing too, and I think most of you guys already do this because I've been on all your channels, is you're just be authentic, be yourself, be genuine, because people can tell if you're fake. People can tell if you're not who you are. And the more time people spend with you, the more time that they go, the more time that they do this. So it's just be one of those things. It just be authentic, be who you are. As people get to know you, who you are, that's amazing. That's amazing as you go along. The other thing I was just talking to my friend Chris about this is go through your sub list at least once a month. Every single person you've subscribed to, go through that list at least once a month. And I mean from beginning to end. So I do this once a month. I'll go through from A to Z. I'll go through every single person I subscribe to. When I click on their channel, I either comment on a video or I unsubscribe to them. Because if you haven't been in touch with them, thanks for being here, Keen. If you haven't been in touch with them in that much long, they're probably not a part of your life anyway. So go through, call that subscribe list, and then you know the people you have in there are people you have a relationship with as you go through. And that way you can continue to comment on everyone. Because my goal is, and I think some of you realize this, I'm pretty good about commenting on everyone's stuff. I really do. I watch as much of everyone's videos as we can as we go along, as we go through. That's kind of stuff that I've been doing to kind of try and build my little channel to where it is. Is it the be all and end all? Goodness no. Are there a lot of people who are doing things way better than me? 100%. But that's just what I've done. That's my little piece of advice. That's my little bit of the world, and that's my little sharing of my BS life. If any of you guys have a question, hit me. I wanted to cover, like I said, I wanted to cover the tips I did for building my channel. I wanted to cover the 7-day challenges, and I could tell stories all day long, but I'll probably do that another time. I'll do story time with Brad, or my BS stories or something like that. We can just cover travel stories or different stories we have from our childhoods. We can all say, so Wendell's saying right there, he's doing the same thing, and it's effective for him too. You know, you try and comment on other people's stuff, because if they're taking the time to put into your channel, it's nice to reciprocate that. And if you have no interest in their channel at all, then just get out of their channel, right? And then eventually they'll get the hint, or you'll get the hint, or whatever. But it gives you guys a chance to really build a community that you know, which is one of the things why I started doing the myBSlife map. And we still have no one from Russia, which is crazy, but we've got a lot of the world covered. Where I always ask people where in the world they're from, because it lets me know, it lets me track where people are coming from, and I love that. I legit, not just so when I can travel, I've got places where I can hang out and have drinks with people. And I've already decided, as soon as the border opens up to States, I want to do a road trip across the States, and I want to have a chance, to work out with different people in different states. I think that'd be amazing. Fit Rush, welcome to the house. That is amazing. Story time with me. Yeah, I could tell stories all day long. As you can tell, I got a lot on my mind all the time. But that's my plan when travel opens up. I want to do a road trip across the States. I want to work out in different states as I go along, and find a bunch of you who are in different states who just want to join me for a workout as we go through. And when I can, travel over to Europe, travel to different places, and have a chance to sit back, break bread, have a meal with a bunch of you as we go through, and kind of do that. That was my plan. That's what I'm going for. And I think that would be I think that'd just be so much fun. It'd be so much fun just to meet so many of you in person. Thanks, man. Yeah. I guess I got a lot on my mind. That's what happens when you talk a lot. I would love that opportunity to sit down with a bunch of you and have dinner. You know, sit down, have a picnic, have a workout together. That'd be amazing. And you can set up the workout. I will do whatever workout you have planned. I'm not shy, as you saw by the 1K challenge, 1K day per week. If you've got a 1K challenge you think I should try, send it to me in a message, feedback in a comment. Let me know. I'll write those down. My plan is every month from now on to do a 1K challenge, one a month. It'll be completely random. And also to do one mukbang a month. That's my plan. Monthly mukbang. I don't know what I'm going to call it. Maybe monthly mukbang. I don't know. Maybe it'll be Monday monthly mukbang, the Triple M. Anyway, that's also a radio station in Australia for my friends from Australia. But anyway, the monthly mukbang Monday. Yeah, there's something to that. I can work on that. Because people seem to like that stuff, and I'm willing to try anything. I love getting to know you guys. I love the fact you're part of my life. Thanks. I'm going to check out in like 2 minutes unless anyone's got a question. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Like I said, I've been going for over an hour now. I thought I'd shut this thing off like 45 minutes, but I just keep telling stories, and you guys keep encouraging me on here. So I could go all night, but we won't for all of us. If anyone's got a question, hit me with it. I'm happy to get back to you. If not, we'll try story time with Brad in a couple of weeks, or my BS stories or something like that. And it is what it is. It can be stories from childhood, stories from high school. Whew. Bad choice made. Car accidents we've had. Bones we've broken. I guess I've got all kinds of themes. It can be bones we've broken week. It can be car accidents we've had. Oh, speeding tickets we've had. Man, ooh, states where I know I still have outstanding speeding tickets, but I don't have those cars anymore, so the license plates aren't registered. So I think I'm okay. If anyone out there knows, I'd love to get some feedback on that, because there's certain states where I know I got a speeding ticket, but I think I'm good. They're a few years ago now, but yeah, it can be. I've got travel stories. We've got broken bone stories. We've got speeding ticket stories. Ooh, we got sleeping on floors, on couches stories. I got sleeping on parks in Kiev stories. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So let me know what you guys are interested in. I'm happy to do a live. Every couple weeks or so we do one of these, and just all the chance to get caught up on each other. If you got a question, put it through. If you've got a live suggestion for me, I would love to hear back from you. Send it to me, mybslifebrad@gmail.com. mybslifebrad@gmail.com. Or send it to me on Instagram, same handle. Let me know if you've got a great suggestion for a live, for a mukbang, for a 1K challenge. I love your ideas. I've got a lot rattling around up here, as you know, as I've gone on for basically an hour and 14 minutes now. I've been talking nonstop. I've had hardly any water. This glass is full when I started and still pretty full now. Thank you so much, all of you, for your support. Thank you for what you mean to me. You guys are awesome. Tomorrow I put out a really quick video. It's a 20-minute burpee one. It's a ladder up and ladder down with 2-minute sets. Adrian and Nico would love this workout. It's a quick one. Iron Wolf did it. It's the gasser one he calls. He did 10. I just made it 20, so it's a full workout. 2 minutes. You go up the ladder, come down the ladder. I included a modification for some of you who need it because you're not into push-ups. It's all good. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for all of you for being a part of my BS life. So much respect, so much love. I appreciate you all. Honestly, you guys make my week. You make this going on. Thank you, Wendell. That is so kind of you. Thank you, Adrian, Nico. We're gonna shut this thing down now. You guys are amazing. Until next time, I'll do this live again. You guys have been so supportive. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. Until next time, I'm Brad. That's my BS life.